genotypes yesterday. I don't know that I made it really clear how the letters work for this, so just a quick recap. When we're writing genotypes, we're saying what types of genes a certain individual has, and we write that using letters of the alphabet. And if we want to say that the allele is dominant, we're using a capital letter. And if we want to say the allele is recessive, we're using a lowercase letter. So if we have a look at the examples here, here's flower colour in pea plants, and they can be either purple or they can be white. Purple is dominant over white. So the capital P represents purple. This one is homozygous, big P, and that's how we say it. These two are heterozygous, big P, little p, big P, little p. And homozygous white is little p, little p. When we're looking at the P's, they can be round or wrinkled. Big S, big S, big S, little s will give you round, and little s will give you wrinkled. It's always best to use a letter of the alphabet that's got a clear distinction, so the P's are more easily distinguished than the S's and the W's. And you can choose any letter. There's no reason you could have chosen big F, little f. I wouldn't choose big C, little c, because the C's are too similar. Doesn't really matter what letter it is. All right, so something different today, and please come back to the Google Meet if you are confused by this. I'm going to do my best to make this clear. In some cases, we don't have a dominant and a recessive gene. Both of the colours are going to be expressed. And if we have a look over here, ignore all these letters for now. We've got a red flower and a white flower, and when they're crossed, what colour do you get? You get pink, somewhere in between red and white. So we would say this is an intermediate phenotype. It's between red and white. If you mix red and white paint, you'll get pink. Red flowers crossed with white, well, in the F1, so this is not a great diagram, but this is the parent generation here. This is P, a red flower and a white flower. And in this case, because it's partial and incomplete dominance, we have a capital letter C for colour, and then as a superscript, we're putting the genotypes. So this is pure red. We're using this capital C down the bottom to indicate that this is not dominant recessive. This is incomplete or partial dominance. So the colour is red, red. This is pure breeding red. The colour is WW. This is pure breeding white parent. And when they cross, obviously from this parent, the offspring can only get an R gene, a colour R. And from this parent, they can only get a colour W. So this has a red gene and a white gene and is pink. This is the F1 generation. When we cross the F1 generation, we get 3 different colours this time. We don't just get red and white. We get 1 red, 1 white, and 2 intermediate ones. So it's really similar to the P's, but these ones here, these heterozygous ones, are going to express as pink. If this was dominant recessive, all of these 3 would have been red and 1 is white. So we get 2, so this is a Punnett square. We put the possible alleles that you can get from the eggs up the top. So you could get either a red colour or you could get this white colour, and the same from the other pink plant that you're crossing it with. From the sperm up here, you could get a red or you could get a white. So if the 2 reds come together, you get big R, it's going to be red. If a red and a white come together, you get big R, big W, it's going to be pink. If a white and a red come together, you get big R, big W, it's going to be pink. And if the 2 W's come together, you get white. So you're going to get 1 red, you're going to get 2 pinks, 2 that are RW, and you're going to get 1 white. This is different from what we saw in Mendel's P's. In Mendel's P's, we got 3-to-1 ratio, 3 of the dominant to 1 of the recessive. Here we're getting 1 each of the dominants and 2 of the intermediate, and we call this incomplete or partial dominance because they are both being partially expressed. Now, similar but different is codominance, and you will need to know the difference between these. So in codominance, similar to partial dominance, but in this case, both genes are fully expressed. So you see them evident in the offspring. So let's have a look down here to start with. If you cross a white cow with a blue cow or bull, whichever way you want to say it, you don't get, did I just say blue? A white with a brown, you don't get something that's in between white and brown. What you get is white with brown splotches. Both genes will be seen in the fur of the offspring. And then if you take these speckly ones, which are called roan, and you cross them, so this is going to have a red gene and a white gene, and a red gene and a white gene, you're going to get a red cow, and you're going to get a white cow. And here you're going to get two that have got the red gene and the white gene, the red gene and the white gene, and we say they're roan. They're not pink, so this is a red and white instead of brown and white. Maybe that's meant to be red. All right, so you've got, let's say that these are white and red then. You've got a white cow and a red bull, and you end up with the offspring that's red and white, splotches. You cross the red and the white ones up here, and you're going to get one red, one white, and two roan, which is a mixture of red and white. And there we go. Okay, something else that's interesting is sometimes genes are affected by the environment. So Himalayan rabbits, they're white above 30 degrees. If the temperature gets below, the tips start to turn black. Interesting. Chlorophyll, put a plant in the dark and see what happens. It stops being green and it will become white in the leaves. It's not going to make the energy to produce chlorophyll if it's not needed, if there's no light for photosynthesis. Oh my God, I'm failing at life at the minute. And these hydrangeas, you might have these in your garden. They are blue when the soil is acidic and pink when it's neutral, when it's 7 or slightly above. And the more acidic the soil is, the darker blue, they'll turn purple, and the more alkaline the soil is, the brighter pink. So the environment is actually affecting the way that the gene is expressed.